What do you think is true but just can't prove?
Jason, the kid from down the street, was over at my house. We were playing with my toys and having a great time. After he left, I noticed one of my yo-yos was missing. I'm sure that guy took it. It was 1979, so I think any proof is long gone.
I've got a similar story, but with a much greater loss in terms of value. I was an idiot kid who thought it would be a good idea to bring a bunch of NES games to a friend's house. It was right after Christmas, and along with new games, I got a 10-game carry case. I showed up with a full case of games, and before going in, he said we should play tag in the yard. He told me to set the case on the back bumper of his dad's truck. We played for 15 minutes and came back around front, and the case was missing. His dad said he had just driven up to the store and back just a few minutes up the road. My parents drove that stretch of road 10 times and never found anything. To this day, I know they never moved the car and just stole all my stuff.
I will go with you to Jason's house right now and shake him down for that yo-yo.
The Fruit of the Loom logo had a cornucopia in it.
Very rich people from Eastern countries deliberately fund and promote culture wars in the West to encourage the crumbling of our societies. That everyone who gives you advice is just talking to themselves in the past.
Squirrels are addicted to the adrenaline high they get from running in front of cars.
You made me laugh so much. Now I believe this too. It's a great theory.
This is actually an insanely good theory I never thought about. If our insanely advanced monkey brain isn't immune to addiction, a pea brain certainly isn't either.
I've heard stories of birds doing this, sitting on a wire above a road until a car comes and then swooping down in front of it for a near miss. When the cars aren't coming, they're chilling on a wire. I believe they're playing a game, but can't prove it.
In Australia, kangaroos do this, but not for the adrenaline. They do it out of spite. Whether their kamikaze attack kills you or just ruins your car is irrelevant. The fact that they died ruining your day is all that matters. Fortunately, the emus and kangaroos are not allies, or the War of 1932 would not have just ended in our forfeit. I like to think the noble emus of that era spared us from reparations because they wanted to maintain coexistence with humanity. They also probably feared the day kangaroos might start renting out space in their pouches to the drop bears in exchange for cigarettes and small, still-living animals that are incapable of breathing underwater.
I haven't been the same since having COVID in 2021. I don't have long COVID, but everything from my energy level to my focus to my menstrual cycles have never been the same. I've been having menstrual issues, and my anemia has been so bad I need transfusions a couple times a year. I also feel like time just flew by. Other stuff has happened as well, but I don't want to seem like a crazy person, so...
All animals are smarter than we have been led to believe. We, as a society, have chosen not to try to communicate with so many intelligent animals.
Aliens exist somewhere out there. It would be much stranger if we were the only planet with life in such a mind-meltingly massive universe.
I agree, and I'm sure they've never been here.
I honestly don't even rule out them having visited us. I know that while the technology seems impossible to us right now, imagine someone in 1825 trying to describe all the crazy stuff we have in 2025. Then imagine what we might have in 2125. And then imagine a planet like ours where its equivalent of humans got started even 10,000 years earlier than we did. I don't think it's too crazy to think that someone out there figured out how to zip around the universe using sciences we don't understand yet to study and document life on other planets. Earth space programs would lose their minds wanting to go examine some alien protozoa on the opposite side of our solar system. So I can totally see some insanely advanced civilization doing the same with us.
Devices with microphones are always listening, not just when the app is being used or running in the background. I mean, the microphone is always on. Everything I've researched says otherwise, but there's no convincing me.
You know you don't have to live with that, right? You can root your phone, you can mod your laptop. It's yours. It belongs to you. They don't want you to know it, but you can do it.
Here's the thing. We know definitively that devices aren't phoning home with heaps of audio data. There's zero way to completely hide that. What is terrifying is that the giant machine learning models that power advertising engines are able to piece together so much data about you and people similar to you that they can create the illusion of listening to you. They aren't listening to you. They just figured out independently from thousands of data points what you were talking about, likely before you even thought about talking about it.
Some people can feel a person's real intentions long before they show it. I cannot prove it, but I believe it is true. That every single person you meet has some tiny story or little quirk that could totally change the way you see them if you just dug a bit. Like, someone could seem totally ordinary, but there's some wild, amazing, or heartbreaking part of their life that just doesn't come out unless you're really paying attention. I can't prove it because you can't know everyone's private world, but I just feel it every time I meet someone new. Makes life kind of magical.
This one is true. I'm a pastor, female, small church, no scandals or fancy sneakers. A huge part of my job is just sitting with people and asking them to share their story. Everyone has something like this, and it is magical.
I just want to say thank you to the first post in this thread and each and every comment. I've never read something that put my thoughts and feelings into words so perfectly as all of this. I love you all and wish the best for you. I hope everyone in your lives benefits from the empathy you give and that you benefit as well. Please persevere to be yourselves and all that comes with that in spite of this world. Thank you.
I love to learn about people, out of genuine curiosity, and I truly care. I think everyone is unique, and I like to learn what it is that makes them unique. I don't seek this out, but I think that gives off a vibe that makes people share their life stories with me without me having to ask. I've found that there are very few people I dislike because everyone has such an interesting story somewhere. The majority of social media traffic is made up of bots.
I believe that the bots are from advertising companies to make their clients believe they are getting their money's worth. I got sick of bots that kept hitting some websites I run, so I put together a tool that blocks them for a month using the Cloudflare WAF, one IP at a time. Every 2 to 3 weeks, about 40 to 50,000 more IPs get added. At that rate, about 1 out of 70 visits are from real people.
Companies no longer make appliances that last, on purpose.
This one is provable. It's called planned obsolescence.
That is very true. If they made products that last, nobody would buy them anymore and they'd go out of business. My grandparents had a freezer from the 70s that worked up until the day it was sold.
So you'll buy another from them in a few years? Or just because it's cheaper to manufacture and they increase their margins? I had a new car that had problems after 2 years and will never buy another from that company. So they lost a customer for being potentially cheap.
It's not planned obsolescence as much as it is really consumers that demand the cheapest thing possible. Samsung has been very successful at providing that, with expected results. By contrast, look at Thermador appliances. Those are built to last. You have to pay, though. They will likely be cheaper in a 30-year time frame than 5-year appliances.
Legalizing abortion and outlawing lead emissions dramatically lowered the crime rates in the U.S.
Ivana Trump didn't just fall down the stairs on her own.
The NFL injury rate is increasing because the percentage of athletes that are now at transhuman speeds and strengths while remaining in a more or less human body has increased significantly. Basically, we are reaching the limits of what the human body can withstand and then moving past that line with almost every player. What used to be a top 1% in athleticism is now much more commonplace, so they stand out a lot less too.
There are way more secret sex groups for the rich and powerful than we will ever know about that exploit and abuse children. We need to bring the hammer down on all of these people.
Insurance is one of the biggest causes of healthcare being stupid expensive.
that some people pretend to be dumb just to avoid responsibility, and honestly, it works way too well.
Some of us pretend to be dumb to avoid conflict. I guess that's the same thing.
I worked with a young accountant who decided to take initiative and do a lunch and learn on how to use Excel. Big mistake, I thought, and was proven correct. Every morning afterwards, there was a line at his desk when he came into the office of people with Excel questions. Never let on you're good with some software. As soon as you become the go-to person, you'll never be left alone.
There's still a surviving phonograph recording of Mark Twain's voice out there somewhere.
There's a recording of Tennyson reading Charge of the Light Brigade.
Cornwall, Ontario is the cancer capital of Canada. The former Domtar paper plant and other heavy industries contaminated the water table in and around the town. There is toxic waste buried behind the Walmart. Almost all of the cancer patients are treated in Ottawa, and they are counted in Ottawa statistics, which hides where people are actually from. Everyone that lives in that town gets cancer. Everyone. The government hides the data because the whole town would be condemned and sealed off if it were to get out. It's actually crazy how anyone I've ever known from Cornwall has gotten cancer, and it's not like 1 or 2 people either. I could definitely believe it.
As someone with family in Cornwall, oh no.
My parents are ashamed of me for not giving them grandchildren.
I think they are disappointed, not ashamed.
That's not on you. That's not your stone to carry.
Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. It really helps. Subscribe for more and tap the bell so you don't miss the next one.